Jeff Mayweather, respected trainer, former IBO junior lightweight champion. Tough loss this past week in Panama. Celestino Caballero. Can you tell me, about his fight? In your eyes, what happened that night?
It's one of those nights in which there's no answers. I don't know what happened. We had a great camp. Expected a great performance. Went down the checklist. Everything was good, and I think it just happened. Sometimes that just happens. It happened to me before. One time when I was fighting, I thought I was in great shape and was ready for the fight, and on that night, I just performed horrible.
Now, Celestino, you've been with him over 3 years now. You always say you notice his legs. If he has his legs under him, he's an excellent fighter. In camp, he looked great. Everybody thought. What did you see from him in camp?
In camp, like I said, the camp was great. And, he was sparring with much bigger guys, and he was more than holding his own against them, But on fight night, his legs wasn't there. And like I said, without his legs, he's an ordinary fighter.
Right. And he had those sparring sessions with Ashley Theophane. Is that the kind of work you're looking for?
Yeah, definitely. And Ashley's a much bigger guy than Celestino. And Celestino was, more than holding his own against him. So, of course, I expected, a great performance because of that work he was getting with Ashley.
The night in Panama, my stream was going in and out. Did he get knocked down in the first? Or?
Yeah, he got dropped in the first. But it's one thing that's funny is that Celestino, obviously he performs bad whenever he fights in Panama. Because the second I checked into the hotel, a guy that worked in the hotel said, he shouldn't be here. And I'm like, that's strange for somebody to say. I said, what do you mean he shouldn't be here? He said, no, he should not be fighting here. He said, every time he fights here, he does bad. He said, anytime he goes to somebody else's country or something like that, he said, and maybe it's just his attitude and mindset or something, I don't know. Because maybe, when he's fighting in somebody else's country, maybe he feels like it's him against the world. And, and then, when you fight at home, it's vice versa. And sometimes you may be a little too lax, but I don't think it's the case of that. I just think, it could have been the weight because he's 36 years old now, and he was off for almost a year and a half. And then he dropped probably like 24, 25 pounds, and he was actually even underweight. But still, with that being said, it's tough, smaller divisions, to take a year and a half off almost and then come back, have to drop that weight, and then really after being off that long, it makes it a little tougher to drop the weight. But also, sometimes the same regimen that you've been using before sometimes doesn't work, so you have to use a different alternative.
And what have been some of your best memories in training Caballero? Just the kind of bond you have and just the camaraderie inside the gym. What's the friendship been like with him?
He's a special fighter to me, and he's a guy that, we'll be friends for life no matter what, and great person, loves to have fun, it's one thing that's very funny that one of my funniest memories is the fact that when he first started trying to speak English, so I would try to make him feel comfortable while I say, I tell you what, I'll speak Spanish, you speak English. And so, of course, our conversation went nowhere. We were both just making up stuff.
Yeah.
And so, it was kind of funny. That was one of the things. But he's like a friend to me, pretty much like most of my fighters. I'm different from most trainers. I develop strong bonds and relationships with my fighters. I'm the type of trainer that, my fighters are going through something. They got a place to lay their head.
Yeah.
I'm not the type of trainer that when I'm in the gym, that's the only time I'm dealing with you. You know, so I mean, just like Kevin, Newman, I mean, we do things together all the time. You know, so almost all my fighters are there. You know, I mean, so you know, I have a strong bond with Celestino. Like I said, we have a lifetime bond.
All right, thanks. Good stuff, Jeff.